Hello, all of you SimCity 2013 fans. Back with a little bit of an update on the Square City. I mentioned that it was noob friendly, I mentioned that it was easy to build up, and here's an example of what it can turn into. Not exactly the best of decisions by me. If I had to do this again, if we go into zoning tool, you can easily see all of my residential right hand side, all of my commercial and industrial left hand side. As a result, the area in the center where they cross back and forth between kind of get overwhelmed. If I was going to do this again, I would have the residential over here in a section of the industrial when it went all clean technology over on this side, nice and checkerboard fashion. That way they wouldn't just be like going back and through here, they'd also be using the side streets, a little bit more spread out traffic in that sort of deal. But yeah, as you can see, we're at 117,000 population, and we're not even completely zoned up. You can see that there are still areas that I could work on. I've got RCI demands for various things, so I could be working on that as well. Yeah, I do have an Expo Center, but note that I'm not, being cheap and getting all my money for it, even though, as we can see from this, you do get a ridiculous sum of money from these convention and expo centers. But we are not relying on that for our city. The city is completely self-sustaining. We're making 15,000 an hour, so we can pretty much do whatever we want here. If, let's say, under those bizarre and completely not normal circumstances, something like trade or maybe tourists or other resources just happens to break down in SimCity, just completely unlikely event that actually happens, we are in fact still maintaining everything, so we're good. Our city's not going to just suddenly cripple. That said, getting 117,000 people in one city used to be really, really easy until, or not really easy, it used to be really, really difficult until you actually began paying attention to the state of the game. And the state of the game says that you do not need any other zone besides residential and your civics, because even though we were all led to believe that the simulation was like, real to life and really, really complex and just beats every game out there right now, we found out actually that either they've A, dumbed it down, B, were completely lying to us, or C, just turned everything off. I don't know. But you can actually make entire cities with nothing but residential, and it'll be fine. Actually, it gets worse than that. You can make entire cities with, from what I saw, nothing but high wealth residential, without any other cities in your region, and everything's fine. No jobs in your city, everything's fine. So there's that. There is, so at the core, it seems that the simulation itself is horribly broken, and it's a little bit annoying. If you want to Google that, or yeah, if you want to Google that, check her out on YouTube. You can see more than enough. Just Google like 200k city or something, and you'll find what you're looking for immediately. Like a retard, I'm actually going to hold out hope for this game. Specifically, a few things give me hope for this game. You see this highway back here? Yeah, the thing with having a large community of people following your game is they do things like rip your code apart, turn it upside down, shake it, see what comes out of its pockets. And people have actually found a way to get that highway placed throughout your city at will. They also found that there are terrain editing tools that you can trigger for yourself. Whether they were hoping these were going to be released as DLC or what, who knows. But people do in fact have access to them right now. So that's That's interesting, I find. Aside from that, though, you might remember that this was going to be a city that was going to be playing with other people, showing off different designs. I think there's only one person whose design I can show off, and I'll be doing that in its own video. But as you can see here, the region's kind of slowly taking off. There's going to be a lot of interesting designs to show you guys. If you guys did not get an invite to this particular region, keep in mind that assuming that we all don't stop playing SimCity, I will be having multiple other regions for you guys to join. But for now, here is a nice little city design that you guys can use. Nice little square, you saw how I built it up. And although I haven't mentioned it yet, I didn't really do anything special for it. I mean, you can see I've got a couple of parks littered, mostly medium wealth. Not doing anything weird, complicated, and crazy with the trade. All I really did, most complicated thing I did, was mess around with the university, because I hadn't done that yet. I was messing around with the mayor's mansion, because there's a whole bunch of different little add-ons you can have for it. So there's that. Once I was making a clear profit, I was messing around with the Expo Center. I mean, after I completely ensured that the city was running okay by itself, right? I messed around with that a little bit. What else? What else? For those of you who have the deluxe version of the game, you may... Whoops, too far. You may recognize good old Brandenburg Gate. It turns your city a little bit German, and we can see evidence of that over here. Don't do that sewage thing ever again. Yeah, the power kind of went out in my city. About to do it again too. To address that in a second. In which case everything turned off and they got really, really unhappy. But that aside, you can see that we do have some German buildings coming in. Those of you who speak it will know exactly what all of these lovely words mean. Those of you who don't, such as myself, well, we're just going to be in the dark. I did put this on stream briefly, and a few people who found it actually translated a lot of it for me, though I don't remember what any of them were. Suffice to say that this one was like beer roof or something. I forget. I'm sorry, I'm stupid. But yeah, there you go. Basic city design for you. Easy to set up, easy to not screw up with. If anyone is actually still having trouble with SimCity, though I cannot imagine anyone who is. If you are free to use this in whatever city you wish to get yourself up and running. Maybe, I don't know, understand a little bit more about the game. I do recommend one thing, though, if you are going to do it. Just a little thing, just a little thing. I would recommend actually having like a rail going through your city at some point. Or maybe doing the checkerboard fashion like I mentioned, just to ensure that all of your streets are staying okay. A few of mine are, you know, a little bit redline, nothing too crippling. The way in and out of our city is still okay. So that's what's important. But yeah, there you go. Nice little design for you. Play with it, have fun with it. If you have a design of your own that you wish to show, remember to drop a comment. I can invite you to either this region or another one, because I'm always interested for what you guys are developing as well. Because there's no doubt in my mind that you guys will be able to come up with a lot more interesting designs than anything that I can come up with. Though I do have a few up my sleeve, and I do intend to show you. So look forward to that. In the meantime, there you go, Square City. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all next time.